Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2014 format, but with the Halloween twist. On one side, we've got the Blastoise and Black Kyurem EX deck as used by Alex Croxton, the senior division runner-up in the World Championships, going up against the Yveltal and Dusknoir deck as used by Violet, a top 16 competitor in the Masters division. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. And for today's special Halloween rule, in between every turn, we'll have a spooky Pokemon stop by to trick or treat, activating its ability to affect both players at the same time, ignoring all activation conditions that the ability may have, just to make the game a little more interesting. So don't worry if that seems a little confusing, it'll make sense pretty soon. Also, I just wanted to let everyone know that the channel is quickly reaching 1,000 subscribers, and we're trying to hit that goal before the end of the year. So if you enjoy the content that we put out, please consider leaving a subscribe, it would really help us a lot. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Blastoise side, we've got Black Kyurem as the active Pokemon with a Keldeo and a Squirtle on the bench, and on the Dusknoir side, we have Sableye as the active Pokemon. The Blastoise side is going first, attaching a Water Energy to the active Kyurem, and then activating the supporter N, forcing both players to shuffle away their entire hand to draw 6 cards apiece. 1 card for each of the remaining prize cards. Okay, there's the cards being drawn. It's a really strong Disruption supporter as the game goes on and players start to take more prizes. So let's see what they get. Voltorb comes down onto the bench now. Once it evolves into Electrode, it's going to be a really good draw Pokemon, followed by another Squirtle and another Black Kyurem coming down as well. And there's a Stadium, Tropical Beach. The player activates his ability to draw until they have 7 cards in hand, but then automatically ends their turn. That's going to be the first turn for the Blastoise side. And now here's our first trick-or-treater. It's going to be Gourgeist, activating its ability Startling Pumpkin. Now both players get to discard 2 random cards from their opponent's hands. There's a Blastoise being discarded and a Lightning Energy. Okay, that could be pretty impactful. Now from the other side, discarding a Muscle Band and a Darkness Energy. Okay, off to a pretty good trick-or-treater. And now it's going to be over to the Dusknoir side for their first turn. Let's see what they can do. Hypnotoxic Laser automatically poisons Black Kyurem, and there's a coin flip. It is heads, so it is also asleep. Okay, there's conditions coming down. Poison and asleep all at once. A really powerful item card in this format. And there's going to be the Dowsing Machine. Discarding 2 cards from the player's hand to get back a discarded trainer. And it's going to be the Hypnotoxic Laser that was just used. Followed by Bicycle as their item. Now the player can draw until they have 4 cards in hand, so they were just using all those cards to thin out their hand and draw some more. There's Darkrai EX coming down into the bench. Followed by Colress as the supporter. And now the player can shuffle away their entire hand to draw 1 card for each bench Pokemon on both sides, so it's going to be a new hand of 6. Let's see if they get that energy card to start attacking. Yeah, it looks like getting hit by that Gourgeist in between turns was pretty impactful because they got rid of the only energy card from the player's hand. Okay, there's Yveltal coming down to the bench, followed by Ultra Ball, discarding 2 more cards from the hand. It's going to be an Enhanced Hammer and an N, it looked like, for any Pokemon from the deck. So let's see what they add to their hand. Okay, it's going to be a Duskull coming down onto the bench immediately. Once it evolves into Dusknoir, it's going to be the main support Pokemon, being able to move damage counters around on the opponent's side. And now the player ends their turn by activating Tropical Beach to draw until they have 7 cards in hand, so they did not have any energy cards to play this turn. And there's the trick-or-treater. It's going to be Pumpkaboo this time, activating its ability Pumpkin Pit to discard the Tropical Beach from play. And the player's just adjusting the Mimikyu there. Okay, there's 10 damage coming down between turns for the poison, and there's a coin flip. Tails, so Black Kyurem does not wake up. Now over to the Blastoise side. Water Energy comes down onto the benched Keldeo EX. And now the player activates their own Colress, shuffling away their hand. And they're going to be drawing 8 cards. So a really powerful supporter this turn. Let's see what they get out of these cards. Maybe some evolutions coming down. Once they get the Blastoise up and running, it's going to be the main energy accelerator out of this deck. Okay, there we see an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from the player's hand. Couldn't quite tell. It was a Pokemon and a trainer card. And yes, the player is going to be searching the deck for the Blastoise. Do they have the rare candy to evolve straight into it? And yes, there's the rare candy, so one of the Squirtle does evolve into Blastoise. And now the player just needs some water energy to accelerate. Oh, but they didn't have anything! They passed their turn. There's 10 damage coming down to Kyurem. There's a coin flip, and it is another tail, so still does not wake up. And now the next trick-or-treater is going to be Giratina, activating its ability Distortion Door. And now both players can put 2 damage counters on their opponent's bench. So 20 on Voltorb and 20 on Duskull. I believe it's supposed to be 1 damage counter on 2 different Pokemon. I don't really think it makes much of a difference. Especially when Dusknoir comes down, they can just move the damage around anyway. Okay, another Duskull comes down, and there's a Darkness Energy coming down into Sableye, followed by Dark Patch, getting a discarded Darkness Energy to attach onto one of their benched Pokemon. And it's going to be coming down onto the Darkrai. So now Sableye can start attacking. There's another Ultra Ball, discarding 2 more cards from the player's hand. A Super Rod and a Professor Juniper. So they might be getting their own evolutions. Yes, it's going to be Dusclops that time. So almost there. Just needs 1 more Pokemon to evolve into Dusknoir. And there's the supporter for the turn, Professor Juniper, discarding the rest of the player's hand to draw 7 brand new cards. And let's see what they get out of these new cards. No other card to play. There's the attack. It's going to be Junk Hunt. Searching the discard pile for 2 item cards to add back into the hand. It's going to be the Dowsing Machine and a Dark Patch. That's going to be it for the Dusknoir's turn. And let's see what the next trick-or-treater is going to be. Oh, but there's the coin flip for sleep. Yeah, okay, finally. Black Kyurem does wake up. Next Pokemon is going to be Crobat now, activating its ability, Night Sight. And now both players get to draw 1 card from their deck. So that was a pretty good treat. Now over to the Blastoise side. There's an N coming down, forcing both players to once again shuffle away their hands to draw 6 cards apiece. Still no prizes taken by either player. The Blastoise side is just trying to dig for any water energies to power up their Pokemon. They've only gotten 2 water energies so far. Oh, but still nothing. That was it. Okay, the next Pokemon is going to be Liepard, activating its ability Trade. Both players discard 1 card to draw 2 cards from their deck, and it looks like they both discarded the same thing, the startling Megaphone. Now back over to the Dusknoir side. There's a Dowsing Machine being played, discarding 2 Darkness Energies from the hand to get back any trainer card from the discard pile, and it's going to be a Dark Patch now. So we do know they have 2 Dark Patches in their hand. Okay, there's 1 being activated. And there's the second one, so both of the Darkness Energies that were just discarded are going to be accelerated. And it looks like they're going to be coming down onto the Darkrai. Alright, there we go. So Darkrai is fully powered up to start using its Night Spear attack. There's another Yveltal coming down to the bench. They've got a full bench now. There's the supporter for the turn, Lysander, bringing up the Black Kyurem from the bench with no energy on it. And because of Darkrai's ability, Dark Cloak, Sableye does have a free retreat cost. There's the Bicycle to draw some more cards out of the deck. Did they get the Dusknoir yet? Okay, Sableye is going to be retreating to promote the Darkrai EX. There's the attack, Night Spear, hitting Black Kyurem for 90 damage and 30 damage on the benched Blastoise. So just spreading some damage around to get manipulated by Dusknoir once it comes into play. Right, there we go. There's all the damage coming down. It's 120 damage in total from that 1 attack. Again, there's the next trick-or-treater. It's going to be Chandelure, activating its ability Mountain Roasting. Now both players have to discard the top 3 cards of their deck. And it looks like both of them discard an energy card, a trainer card, and a Pokemon card. Now over to the Blastoise side. Let's see what they can do. There's a Max Potion to fully heal the active Kyurem. So it's 90 damage taken off the board. lightning energy comes down onto it. It's going to be the manual attachment for the turn. And there's Blastoise's ability, Deluge. It's going to be accelerating. Looks like that's 2 water energies. It just needs 1 more to use its Black Ballista attack. And there's a Colress, shuffling away the player's hand. And now they get to draw 10 cards, as both players have a full bench. It's a really powerful supporter. So I'm sure they're going to be getting at least 1 water energy off this brand new hand. So with the Black Ballista attack, they can deal 200 damage to take the 1-hit KO against Darkrai. Let's see if they got it. Okay, there's an Ultra Ball first. Discarding 2 more trainer cards from the hand for any Pokemon from the deck. Is it going to be the... Yes, the next Blastoise is going to be added to the player's hand. So they might also have the rare candy. Yes, there's the second rare candy. That's going to be 2 Blastoise in play now. Still waiting for the water energy, though. And yes, there it is. Deluge attaches the final water energy to fully power up the Black Kyurem. And there's the attack. Black Ballista taking the KO against Darkrai. And finally, 2 prizes are taken. It's going to be the first prizes taken of the game. Sableye comes up as a new active Pokemon. And there's the next Trick-or-Treater. It's going to be Spiritomb, activating its ability Curse Breath. And now all Pokemon with a damage counter in play take an extra 10 damage. There we go. And now back over to the Dusknoir side. There's another Hypnotoxic Laser coming down, inflicting poison, and there's a coin flip to see if it falls asleep. Now it is Tails that time. This Kyurem does not fall asleep. And there's N. It's going to be the third one of the game, I believe. And now the Blastoise side can only draw 4 cards, while the Dusknoir side gets to draw all 6. And does the player finally have the Dusknoir? And yes, finally, Dusknoir does come into play. To activate its ability, Sinister Hand. There's a Darkness Energy coming down into the Yveltal. And there's the attack. It's going to be Junk Hunt once again, searching the discard pile for 2 item cards. And it's going to be both of the Dark Patches that were used up. Black Kyurem takes the 10 damage for poison, and there's the next Trick-or-Treater. It's going to be Bayonet this time, activating its ability Curse of Devolution. And now both players get to de-evolve one of their opponent's bench Pokemon, so the Blastoise and the Dusknoir are returned to each player's hand. And because the Blastoise was evolved with the rare candy, it de-evolves way back into Squirtle now. Okay, Squirtle evolves into Wartortle now. It's going to have to evolve back into Blastoise the old-fashioned way. And there's a Dowsing Machine, discarding 2 cards from the player's hand. A Water Energy and an Ultra Ball for any trainer card from the discard pile. What's it going to be? Let's take a look. It's going to be Skyla now, to search the deck for any trainer card. And now it's going to be another Tropical Beach. It looks like the player does not have very good cards in hand, so they're going to be trying to draw into some more. Yes, there's the ability of Tropical Beach. Now the player can draw until they have 7 cards in hand, and it's going to end their turn. 10 more damage comes down, and there's the next Trick-or-Treater. It's going to be another Spiritomb. This time it has the ability Spooky Whirlpool, forcing both players to shuffle away their entire hands to draw 6 cards apiece. So pretty much undoing that Tropical Beach that was just activated. Okay, now back over to the Dusknoir side. Oh, speaking of Dusknoir, it was just shuffled away. So after all that trouble, the player went to get it into play. And now it's gone. Okay, a Darkness Energy comes down to the Yveltal EX. And there's a Dark Patch. Getting back another Darkness Energy onto Yveltal EX as well. So it's 2 energy on it so far. It's powered up to use its Evil Ball attack, at least. And there's Professor Juniper, discarding the rest of the player's hand to draw 7 brand new cards. Alright, let's see what they got. There we go. Dusknoir does come back down. They still have not activated its ability, though. Oh, never mind. There it is, moving the 20 damage off of the active Kyurem onto Keldeo, and then 20 damage off of Wartortle onto Blastoise, just spreading the damage around, just in case another max potion comes down. There's another Dark Patch getting a third energy onto Yveltal EX. And it looks like Sableye is going to be paying the retreat cost to promote the Yveltal. And that's going to be the attack. Oblivion Wing hitting for 30 damage and getting back a fourth energy to give onto the EX one. Okay, the next trick-or-treater is going to be Marshadow this time with the ability Let Loose, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands to draw 4 new cards. A lot of disruptions coming down from this trick-or-treaters. Okay, now over to the Blastoise side. Do they have the cards necessary to take some more KOs? A Voltorb does evolve into Electrode finally. A Water Energy comes down to the Keldeo EX. It just needs one more energy to start attacking. And there's Professor's Letter. The player can search their deck for up to 2 basic energy cards to add to their hand. Oh, but it looks like they didn't add anything. I don't think they have any energy left in their deck. Okay, there's Electrode activating its ability to let the player draw into that 4 cards in hand, and there's Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding 2 cards to get back 4 energies from the discard pile. Yes, it's 4 water energies coming back into the player's hand to fully power up either this Black Kyurem or this Keldeo. Okay, there's Deluge activating. 2 water energies onto Keldeo EX. So its Secret Sword attack will be able to hit for 130 damage. It activates its ability Rush In to jump into the active spot. So we're going to be seeing a KO on this Yveltal this turn. Secret Sword deals 50 damage plus 20 more for every water energy attached, so it's just enough to take the KO. There it is, and that's going to be 3 prizes taken by the Blastoise side. And still no prizes taken by the Dusknoir side. Okay, the next trick-or-treater is going to be another Bayonet with the ability Puppet Offering. Both players search their discard piles for a supporter card to add to their hand. So there's a Skyla for the Blastoise side and Lysander for the Dusknoir side. Okay, Yveltal EX is a new active Pokemon. It's got 4 energy on it. It's going to be a really strong attacker. There's the Sinister Hand, moving all the damage from everything on the Blastoise side onto one of the Black Kyurem. And yeah, that was exactly 180 damage to take the KO against Black Kyurem. That is 2 prizes taken by Dusknoir, finally. A Darkness Energy comes down onto Sableye. There's the attack Evil Ball. It's going to be just enough to take the 1-hit KO. That is 2 more prizes taken. That is 4 prizes in 1 turn for the Dusknoir side. They're turning it around. They're finally in the lead. Black Kyurem comes up as a new active Pokemon. And the next trick-or-treater is going to be, oh, another Dusknoir. This one has the ability Dark Palm. Now both players get to pick one of their opponent's bench Pokemon to shuffle away. It's going to be Blastoise and Dusknoir going back into each player's deck. Now normally, this ability can only be activated if the player has at least 4 benched Pokemon. But because we're ignoring all the activation conditions, they can activate it right now. Just to make it a little more exciting for Halloween. Okay, the Wartortle evolves into another Blastoise. So it looks like they weren't affected very much by the Dark Palm ability. There's a Deluge, attaching 2 water energy onto Black Kyurem. It just needs a lightning energy to hit with Black Ballista. There's the Magnetic Draw, drawing 1 card from the deck. And yes, there's the Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding 2 more trainer cards from the player's hand to get back 4 discarded basic energy cards. That's going to be 3 water energies. And there's the lightning energy. So we're going to be seeing another 1-hit KO coming through. Okay, there's a manual attachment, lightning energy. And there's Black Ballista dealing 200 damage to easily take the 1-hit KO against Yveltal EX. Taking 2 more prizes. The Blastoise side just has to take 1 more prize to win the game. The next trick-or-treater is going to be Ariados, activating its ability Spider Net to drag a Blastoise into the active spot. This ability only works on evolved Pokemon. Alright, there we go. Now back over to the Dusknoir side. They don't have any attackers. Things are not looking good for Dusknoir. Okay, there's a rare candy to evolve Duskull into another Dusknoir. And there's an N, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands. Blastoise gets to draw just 1, while Dusknoir gets to draw 2. But they also have access to the Tropical Beach to draw some more cards out of their decks. There's the attack Junk Hunt. Getting back... which 2 items? It's going to be a Super Rod and an Ultra Ball to recycle some of the discarded Pokemon or energy cards on the following turn. And now the next trick-or-treater is going to be Sableye with the ability Excavate. Both players get to take a look at the top card of their deck and either discard it or put it back on top of the deck. So that was the Squirtle going to the discard pile. And the Dusknoir player decides to keep that card for the following turn. Okay, the Blastoise side activates Magnetic Draw to draw 2 more cards out of the deck. And there's a Water Energy coming down onto Blastoise. No other cards are played. There's the Tropical Beach to draw some more cards until the player has 7 in hand. And there's the next trick-or-treater is going to be Gengar with the ability Curse. Curse can move damage counters around, but since there's no damage on either player's field, it does nothing for this turn. And now over to the Dusknoir side. There's a Super Rod. Let's see what the player is going to be shuffling back into the deck. It's going to be an Yveltal EX and 2 Darkness Energies. So they're going to be trying to power up another attacker as quickly as possible. They still got to take 2 more prizes to win this game. The player then activates an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from their hand to search their deck for any Pokemon to put into play. Let's see, it's going to be the Yveltal that was just shuffled back in. It does need at least 2 energy to start attacking. There's Jirachi, activating its ability Stellar Navigation to search the deck for any supporter. It's going to be Colress. And now they can shuffle their hand away to draw 5 cards, as there are 5 bench Pokemon in play. Let's see what they get. Okay, there's the manual attachment. It's going to be a Darkness Energy coming down to Yveltal. And there's a Dark Patch. Okay, so it does have at least 2 energy to start attacking. Sableye is going to be paying the retreat cost. And there's Yveltal coming back into the active spot now. There's the attack Evil Ball hitting for 80 damage, I believe. Yeah, 80 damage. Okay. So they have some damage to start moving around with Dusknoir in the following turn. And there's the next trick-or-treater. It's going to be Dark Houndoom with the ability Fire Breath. Both players flip a coin to see if they can burn their opposing Pokemon. Oh, but no, both are tails, so it does nothing. Over to the Blastoise side now. There's another Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding 2 more cards to get back some energy from the discard pile, and this might be the game. They can use these cards to pay the retreat cost or attack with Blastoise. Let's see what the player's going to be doing. Okay, there's the Deluge. Okay, putting 3 energy onto Black Kyurem, 1 onto Electrode. Okay, yeah, that's a strategy, I guess. There's Skyla, searching the deck for any trainer card. And it's going to be another Superior Energy Retrieval. And yeah, that should get the final cards they need for Blastoise to pay the retreat cost. And then Black Kyurem can close out the game. There it is. 2 Water Energy, a Lightning Energy. Just what the player needs. Blastoise does have a retreat cost of 4, but they can easily pay it with its ability. Yeah, that's all the energy coming down to Blastoise. Discards everything to pay the retreat cost, and now Black Kyurem comes into the active spot. And there's the final attack, Black Ballista. Taking the KO against Yveltal to take the final prize, and there's the handshake. Blastoise is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom saying Happy Halloween!